So, the effect of all this going out into the world and bringing it back to us was that our entire mindset was changing. In 1969, however, both ways of shrinking the world were poised to make a quantum leap. First proposition, Concorde.
She flies. Concorde flies at last.
The idea, to cut journey times in half. The second proposition, computers that could talk to each other across the globe. Say you wanted to invest your hard-earned cash in the one that was most likely to catch on. In 1969, the future was supersonic.
4 Rolls-Royce engines with reheat deliver enough thrust to take this aeroplane to a top speed of over Mach 2, or 1,350 miles per hour. And it flies at an altitude of 60,000 feet, or close to the edge of space, much higher than that, and all the passengers would qualify as astronauts. This would fly you from London or Paris to New York in under 3 hours.
Well, sadly, not anymore. Concorde's now just a history lesson on a school trip.
Once upon a time, this aeroplane flew across the Atlantic. This is how the aeroplane flew in service, with 2 passengers sitting...
Like the technology in this cockpit, Concorde stagnated and died in 2003. Supersonic never went mass market. Concorde was too noisy and way too expensive. A return ticket cost around £6,000. Yes, time was money, but not that much money. So what about our other proposition? Well, back in 1969, computers spent their time performing calculations of mind-numbing tedium. OK, and maybe they played the odd game of chess, but on the whole, they led lonely, insular lives. But within a few months of Concorde's first flight, something remarkable happened.
On the 29th of October 1969, at the University College of Los Angeles, a computer specialist typed the words "log in" into his machine, and he expected those to be read by a similar man at a similar machine hundreds of miles away at the Stanford Research Institute in San Francisco. The experiment didn't actually go that well. By the time the Stanford computer had lumbered its way through to the G of log, it had crashed. But actually that wasn't important. It wasn't what was said that mattered. What mattered was that one computer had spoken to another one remotely. I even have here a copy of the handwritten record of the event. Here you can see it says 22:30, talk to SRI, the Stanford Research Institute, host to host.
If computers could talk to one another, perhaps we didn't need to. Potentially, these jumped-up abacuses could chat non-stop about anything and everything, but only if we could find a way to carry such a massive amount of information.
This problem of bandwidth dogged communication for the first 3/4 of the 20th century. In 1900, there were means of sending a message over a long distance, but they were all distinctly narrowband. There was, for example, the homing pigeon, like this fella here. Very, very fast, up to 100 miles an hour with a decent tailwind, but your message was restricted to whatever you could fit on a small piece of paper like that. Off you go, mate. There was a transatlantic telegraph cable for the stuff, but that would only handle 2 words a minute. The first transatlantic telephone cable would handle 36 phone lines, that's all. And they're all busy.
The solution to the problem lay in light. Light straight out of the world of science fiction. Laser light. Lasers are great fun, but more importantly, they can also be switched on and off millions of times a second to carry a stream of digital data. Trouble is, they have a habit of going in straight lines. But put them in a glass fibre, and you can steer them wherever you like. Round bends, across continents, all over the world. Just one optical fibre can carry 6 million telephone calls at once. So you can see how this disco light is responsible for a revolution. We can run a business in India from a sofa in Slough, find a soulmate in South Africa, invest in a villa in Cyprus, or watch home videos of total strangers as if they were our best mates. Maybe we should get out more.
Here's a thought. Don't you think it's weird that when it comes to shrinking the world, this piece of glorified bunting has completely triumphed over that magnificent supersonic airliner? It seems to me we spent the first 3/4 of the 20th century going out into the world, trying to see more and more of it. And then in the last few decades, we've realised that actually we can bring quite a lot of it to us down this optical string thing. And is that necessarily a good thing, I was going to say, but I've left my phone on. I'm really sorry. So that's really unprofessional. Hello. Hello, buddy. Now, that is ironic. I've just been talking to this film crew about shrinking the world, and here you are ringing me from the other side of it. What time is it there, anyway? Well, good morning from dark Britain. For a free hands-on activity pack from the Open University, simply phone 0870 900 0352. Or you can log on to open2.net. Next, I get to grips with the job I really wanted as a child, to be an astronaut.